The Chernobyl nuclear disaster of April 26, 1986, stands as one of the most catastrophic events in modern history, leaving an indelible mark on the world. Central to this tragedy was Pripyat, a once thriving city situated in close proximity to the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Pripyat, located in northern Ukraine near the Belarus border, was founded on February 4, 1970, to serve as a model Soviet city for the Chernobyl nuclear power plant workers and their families. The city's name originates from the nearby Pripyat River. Planned and constructed under the Soviet regime, Pripyat was designed to showcase the advancements and achievements of Soviet urban planning and engineering. Pripyat was meticulously designed with modern amenities and infrastructure. The city boasted wide boulevards, high-rise apartment complexes, schools, hospitals, cultural centers, sports facilities, and recreational areas. Its layout reflected the Soviet ideal of urban living, with an emphasis on communal spaces and centralized services. At its peak, Pripyat's population numbered around 49,000 residents, predominantly comprising young families and workers associated with the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The city fostered a vibrant community characterized by diversity in professions, backgrounds, and interests. Pripyat's residents enjoyed a relatively high standard of living compared to other regions in the Soviet Union, thanks to the benefits provided by their association with the nuclear facility. Pripyat was not merely a residential enclave but also a cultural hub. The city boasted theaters, cinemas, libraries, and community centers that enriched the lives of its inhabitants. Social activities, festivals, and cultural events were commonplace, fostering a sense of camaraderie and unity among residents. Despite being a relatively young city, Pripyat thrived with a dynamic cultural scene, reflecting the aspirations and spirit of its populace. Economically, Pripyat benefited from its proximity to the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, which served as a major employer for its residents. The plant provided stable jobs and opportunities for career advancement, ensuring a steady income for many families. Additionally, the city's strategic location facilitated trade and commerce, contributing to its economic prosperity. Pripyat was surrounded by lush forests, picturesque landscapes, and the serene waters of the Pripyat River. The city's natural surroundings offered recreational opportunities, including fishing, hiking, and picnicking. The proximity to nature provided a respite from urban life and enhanced the quality of life for Pripyat's residents. April 26, 1986, the Chernobyl disaster unfolded during a routine safety test at reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Due to a combination of design flaws and operator errors, the reactor experienced a catastrophic explosion, leading to a meltdown and the release of radioactive materials into the atmosphere. The explosion ruptured the reactor building, spewing radioactive debris across the surrounding area and triggering a fire that burned for days. The residents of Pripyat initially remained unaware of the severity of the situation. Despite the explosion occurring just a few kilometers away, authorities delayed informing the public about the danger posed by the radiation. In the hours following the explosion, Pripyat's skies glowed an eerie blue as radioactive particles descended upon the city, contaminating its buildings, streets, and inhabitants. On April 27, 1986, approximately 36 hours after the explosion, the Soviet government ordered the evacuation of Pripyat. Residents were instructed to gather essential belongings and evacuate immediately, leaving behind their homes, possessions, and livelihoods. The evacuation process was chaotic and harrowing, as residents grappled with fear, uncertainty, and the realization that their beloved city was no longer safe to inhabit. In the aftermath of the Chernobyl disaster, Pripyat became a ghost town frozen in time. The city's once bustling streets now lay eerily silent, devoid of human activity. Despite the passage of decades, Pripyat remains heavily contaminated with radioactive isotopes, rendering it uninhabitable for the foreseeable future. The lingering radiation poses significant health risks to anyone who ventures into the exclusion zone surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The environmental impact of the Chernobyl disaster extends far beyond Pripyat's borders. The surrounding ecosystem, including forests, rivers, and wildlife, has been profoundly affected by the release of radioactive materials. Contaminated soil, water, and vegetation continue to pose challenges for remediation efforts, hampering the recovery and rehabilitation of the affected areas. The long-term consequences of environmental degradation are a stark reminder of the far-reaching implications of nuclear accidents. The Chernobyl disaster caused immeasurable human suffering, displacing thousands of residents from their homes and communities. For the former inhabitants of Pripyat, the evacuation marked the end of an era, forcing them to abandon their cherished memories and aspirations. Many evacuees experienced profound trauma and loss as they grappled with the physical and emotional toll of the disaster. The evacuation of Pripyat serves as a poignant reminder of the human cost of nuclear accidents and the enduring legacy of tragedy. Despite its status as a radioactive exclusion zone, Pripyat remains a potent symbol of resilience and remembrance. The abandoned buildings, decaying infrastructure, and overgrown streets serve as a haunting reminder of the city's tragic past. In recent years, interest in Pripyat as a tourist destination has grown, with visitors drawn to its eerie atmosphere and poignant history. Efforts to preserve Pripyat as a testament to the Chernobyl disaster's impact are ongoing, ensuring that future generations will remember the events that unfolded there. The story of Pripyat and the Chernobyl disaster is one of tragedy, resilience, and remembrance. From its origins as a model Soviet city to its abandonment in the wake of nuclear catastrophe, Pripyat serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human civilization and the devastating consequences of technological failure.